Everybody, Brock Vandenberg, fund manager for Talamar Income Fund, giving you my Friday update. What is going on within the organization, what we're seeing in the marketplace. Going to share some of the trends that I see. So let's go ahead and get started. For those that don't know Talamar Financial, we are a bridge lender here in California. We specialize in financing residential and commercial bridge loans, including fix and flip loans and construction loans, primarily in the Western United States. Loan sizes range typically between 1 and 10 million. And we've got about 150 million assets under management, AUM. That's about 120 loans that we currently manage. We close between about 10 to 15 million a month in new loan volume. I'm going to go ahead and start out with some of the announcements. Number one, I want to say thanks again for all of those who attended our webinar last week. It was hosted by the California Mortgage Association. I hosted on panelist-wise Kevin Kim of Fortra, Enrique Flores of Servicing Pros, Matt Burke of Verivest, and then Vance Hillstrom of Rubicon Mortgage Fund. During the webinar, we focused on a number of subjects. Number one, how to launch a mortgage fund. Number two, how to manage a mortgage fund efficiently. So talking about kind of back office operations, how to manage that fund, how to scale a fund. And then we talked about some of the trends that are happening in the fund industry. So it was a great webinar. If you're, again, interested in watching a recording of the video, you will have to be a member of the California Mortgage Association. And I can go ahead and log in and watch that video. Another announcement. Number two, super excited to announce that we funded our first owner-occupied consumer bridge loan. For those not familiar with what that is, typically hard money lenders or private lenders focus on investment properties only. Consumer bridge loans have a lot more disclosures, timing requirements, and whatnot to complete. So it's something that a lot of private lenders really focus on or lend on. We were presented an opportunity to fund it. It was a pretty good deal, strong borrower, strong property type, strong down payment. And so we decided to bring in the right people, and we ended up funding the loan. In this case, our client was selling house A, their primary residence, and moving into another primary residence, but they couldn't sell house A quick enough to close on house B. So we provided them a bridge loan to close on house B while they sold house A. And our loan will be paid off for the sale of house A and then also through a refinance as well. The loan actually underwrite went very smoothly. We were able to close it in about a little over 3 weeks just because of timing issues required on doing consumer bridge loans. But it gave us kind of the idea of how to launch this type of program. So we have launched the program. We are open for business to do owner-occupied consumer bridge loans. What we're really targeting are buyers that are in the process of selling a house while they buy another house. They can't get conventional financing to buy the new house. They need a short-term loan to close on this property, and then we'll pay off our loan with either a refinance or the sale or both of their existing property. So I'm going to go ahead and post some more information on our website about that new loan program. Also, we'll be shooting an email out about it as well. The third announcement, if you guys didn't check out there or listen in on the recent American Association Private Lender webinar with Nima, I'm sorry, man, I'm gonna butcher this last name, but with Doug Bandon and Ben Fertig of Constructive Capital, who I've actually worked with both, did a great webinar on kind of what's going on in the bridge world and DSCR world. A couple takeaways I got from the webinar. By the way, if you're interested in getting on the list of the webinar, check out the American Association of Private Lenders, AAPL, another great organization to be involved with. And they do these quarterly updates about market updates about what they're seeing in the market. Normally, Nima jumps on and talks about from a lightning doc standpoint and the type of loans that they're drafting docs for, give some insight into what are the popular loan types and what kind of rates that we're seeing across the country. And the big takeaway, number one, was bridge loans. So normally fix and flip loans were pretty flat year over year. But what they did see was a big increase in the number of DSCR loans. Now, my belief on this is, number one, I think a DSCR loan program is very good. For those not familiar with the DSCR loan program, these are really focused on rental properties. And these are for investors that want a very high level underwrite. So it's only pretty much property specific looking at the income generated by the property for the majority of the underwrite. And they saw a major increase in the number of DSCR loans across the country. And, my thought process on this, being that we're in California, I know you guys are doing a lot of DSCR loans in California. The underwrite in California, the spread necessary to close on these loans are much bigger than maybe what you see in the Midwest, maybe in the Southwest or Southeast or even Northeast. But I think we're seeing a big jump in these DSCR loans because the exit strategy on a fix and flip is really not an option at this point for a lot of borrowers. So you're seeing them kind of fall back on a DSCR option. I think there are a lot of investors that are picking up properties at pretty big discounts and able to fit them in the DSCR model. And then also just the availability of capital to fund these DSCR loans. So that all resulted in a big increase in the number of DSCR loans that are being funded. The other big takeaway was that kind of pricing across all bridge financing, or in terms of bridge financing across the country, has really started to kind of balance out. So normally it was California had very aggressive pricing rate-wise, and you might see in the Midwest there was a significant increase in the pricing in the Midwest, but you're starting to see that kind of balance out nationwide, which was interesting. But I assume AAPL is going to be posting that webinar here shortly, and you can get some insights on there. Also recommend getting on the Lightning Docs email thread. They post a lot of this information about what they're seeing in terms of loan types, loan volumes across the country. And it's really insightful when you're a fund manager seeing where kind of pricing is across the country. In terms of loan closings, we had another busy month. Busy week. We had 3 loan closings. First, it was our $787,000 owner-occupied bridge loan. And then we funded 2 fix and flip loans here in Southern California. And the pipeline is actually pretty full on some of the larger loans, so larger bridge loans. So keep those loan requests coming. Upcoming events that you may want to consider. You've got the California Mortgage Association Lobby Day in Sacramento. So if you're here in the state of California and you're funding private money loans in California and you're associated with the CMA, definitely something that you may want to consider going. Is next Wednesday, March 4th, up in Sacramento. Get a chance to sit down with all the legislators and talk about what it is how important the private lending industry is, and to ensure that they put rules and regulations in place that make our lives easier, or at least not make them more difficult. So highly recommend it. You also have the California Mortgage Association Spring Conference, March 18th in Newport. Great opportunity to network with other private lenders in the industry. I find it actually really interesting to sit down with some of the sponsors and vendors of the CMA and kind of get their insights into what others are seeing out there. So great opportunity to network with others. We got the Fortra Vegas Nationwide Private Lending Conference, March 30th and 31st, and I will be speaking on a panel regarding working with mortgage brokers during that conference. So check that one out. Again, Fortra Vegas Nationwide Private Lending Conference. If you got an upcoming event that you want me to highlight, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to talk about your event as long as it's regarding the private lending industry. Wanted to add a new bullet point on these Friday talks, which is an underwriting tip of the week. And this one is brokers lock up your borrower, okay? Just recently had a loan submitted to it. Oh, actually, wasn't recently submitted to us. We were in the underwriting process on it. Now, granted, it was kind of on the bubble. There were some issues with the loan. But what finally got us to say no on this loan is that it was resubmitted to us through another broker. And that just unfortunately killed the deal for the broker that originally brought it to us at no fault of his own. And it was really just a bad scenario. But the client went out, I guess, to other brokers and shopped it around. And that's a real deal killer. It makes lenders really uncomfortable when they see a loan being shopped around. First of all, it makes it tough for us to really want to spend time on it and focus on it because, it could be taken away from us at any moment. And it does take a lot of resources for a private lender to look at a loan and to have it taken away at the last minute because maybe another lender sweeps in and picks up where we're left off and just undercuts us. Does not leave a good taste in my mouth. I've had that in the past. So when a loan gets rebrokered out, not good. So brokers, get control of your borrowers. Make sure that they're not brokering the loan out through other brokers. All right, a couple final thoughts on my Friday update. Number one, we are seeing a lot of commercial bridge loans. So these are loans secured on industrial, mixed use retail, actually seeing a couple office loans that actually look relatively interesting. So before I used to say absolutely no on those, but now there's some opportunities out there that we're seeing. So we're seeing a lot more on the bridge loan activity. Foreclosure bailouts, again, it's not something that I look at. I do not like becoming the new problem. And for refinances, make sure that you're understanding or you know the payment history for the borrower. It is very insightful to see if you have a payment history that's scattered with a bunch of late payments or foreclosure actions, it'll scare away your lender. With that, I appreciate you watching the Friday update. Now I'll go ahead and post some of the links that I discussed in this update. And if you liked it, give it a like and check in for the next Friday update. Thanks for listening.